that are shoveling snow to flush their toilet. It's wild. I have another friend who was texting. Hopefully he hasn't run out of phone battery, because he was asking, how do I get my oven, something about the pilot, how do I light that for heat? And I'm like, don't do that. So just very scary times. So we will be right here in our homes with maybe the heat on or a sweater, and we get to practice yoga today. Big time gratitude for that, and for you showing up to create our community today. Thank you for that. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. You may notice sounds around you. You may notice lights. And then you come back to the breath, noticing your breath. And let your next 3 inhales and exhales be really full, complete breath in and out, not forcing, but just allowing that. Filling up, emptying out. Twice more. And bring your hands to touch in front of your heart. Grateful for the breath, grateful for each other, grateful for Wacky Wednesday. Send some love out, maybe to Texas, maybe somewhere else, but send something good out from your heart for healing, for blessings, prayer. You can release your arms and slowly come off the prop, bring your pelvis back down onto your mat, and hug your knees into your chest. You can be still or gently rock side to side. We're going to use the blocks quite a bit today. If you don't have them, do not worry. Every single thing that we're doing can be done without the blocks. And let your legs and arms float up toward the sky and take some circles, ankles and wrists. And switch direction with your circles. And bring your feet back down to your mat, arms out in a T. And take some wipers, windshield wipers. You can turn your head the opposite way of your legs. And this move can be as slow, as subtle as you want it to be, or it can be quite grand. You can let the legs go all the way down toward the floor. Some spinal rotation and some love for the front of your hip and thigh. And if you're adding the head, good morning, thank you, neck. Continue moving or pause on one side and take a really big breath in and a full breath out. And then you can switch sides and do the same thing. Full breath in, full breath out. And then you'll come back to center. You can draw your legs in again, give yourself a squeeze. And then the legs will be in the chair shape, like you tipped over, and then arms up toward the sky. I like to pin my back down for this. I try to get my whole back really strong into the mat. That is not right for everyone. Some people like a little natural curve in the low back. So you explore your body strong and centered. And then opposite limbs, left leg and right arm, reach away from center and then come back. The other two limbs stay still. Opposite limb, right leg, left arm, reaching away from center, coming back. It's a little brain tease. Make sure your jaw is relaxed. Sometimes smiling while you're doing this is very helpful. And most of you know I've been dealing with a crankster back lately. So you can see I'm not going very far with the arm and the leg, but I can feel the torso, the muscles of the core working. So you do you. You might be going all the way out. Breathing, moving away from center, and resetting. And can you go the last few extra slow? There's some serious magic in the slow. And we'll do one more each side, opposite limb. Reach, return. Last time, reach and return. Release your arms, release your legs, stretch out, stretch all the way out, and maybe take your arms all the way up and over. 3 full breaths here. Big, beautiful inhales, and you could even open your mouth for your exhale. What do we need to let go of today? Always a little extra baggage I end up carrying around. You can remind yourself to let go, put it down. And when you're ready, bend your knees, roll to your side, make your way up, tabletop. Hands and knees, and think about opposites again. So it won't be a surprise now what's happening. tabletop, knees below the hips, wrists below the shoulders, and we'll start by hovering the left hand and the right leg. Opposite, hovering, barely lifting, so you're not reaching forward or back. The hand is barely off the mat. The knee, shin, and foot barely off the mat. And then release and switch. Right hand, left knee, shin, and foot. And switch again. Super duper low, hovering. Different kind of core. We don't have to do 6 million crunches a day, thank goodness. We can do other things. And switch. And one more each way. Try to keep your neck long. I know it's hard. You have to look at the screen sometimes. Switching, last side. And release. Inhale for your cow. And exhale for cat. Inhaling cow. Try to drag the hands back toward the knees. Feel the strength that gives you. And then exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really push the ground away. And let's take one more. And back to neutral. If you have blocks, you'll grab your blocks, bring them onto your mat. And please make sure they don't slip forward. So you have to be mindful of that. You'll bring your hands onto the blocks. I have the heel of the hand down kind of at the end of the block here. And then you'll find, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. It's a little different with the blocks. Inhale, cow. And exhale, child's pose. Moving with your breath. Hands on blocks, just changing it up a bit. If your hands are on the earth, don't worry. You're still doing cow, cat, cow, and back to child's pose. Thinking length the whole time. Moving in and out of those shapes. Next time you're in child's pose, balasana, pause. You can even reach your blocks forward a little bit so your arms are up in the air. If you don't have blocks, maybe make spider hands, right, onto your fingertips, staying active in the upper back, in your shoulders. 2 more breaths right here. And then you'll slowly come back up. Okay, now, when we do this again with down dog and plank, you really have to be mindful that your blocks are not sliding forward, okay? So you'll curl your toes under. We're gonna come into our downward dog. Already you'll notice, and if your blocks feel unstable, then you can come down, get rid of the blocks. I have a stickier mat underneath, so I'm just gonna fold this guy. The top mat is a little bit sassy, slippery. Okay, My heel of the hand is at the edge of the block, supported and strong here. Downward dog, and then you come forward into plank and exhale into dog. Please be safe and secure. If it doesn't feel that way, drop your knees, get rid of the blocks, and do plank and down dog from the earth. Let your breath move you. Let your breath initiate the movement. Good. 1 or 2 more times. And then you can come in to the dog and hold. Notice how it feels in your shoulders, and can you push away from the blocks as if you were trying to get longer and get your butt up toward the sky. Heels can reach down, but don't be attached to them attaching to the ground. Wherever they are, it's perfect. And then come into plank and hold your plank. Heels toward the sky, shoulders above your wrists. Push the ground away. Find some of the feeling in your center as you felt hovering the legs. And when we were on our backs, moving the limbs away from center and back. Strong, strong, strong. We have 1 more breath here. And then from dog, walk your feet up to your hands. Forward fold. Uttanasana, forward fold. So maybe you're going to use your blocks to rest your hands or your forearms. Any kind of forward fold that feels good in your body. 3 deep breaths. After your third, you bring yourself up by rolling or coming up with a long spine, strong and rooted through your legs. You can grab one of your blocks and place it just above the knees, so it's at the thighs. The narrowest width, probably, but maybe the second width feels good. No block is fine. You're just here in Tadasana. Close your eyes. If you'd like, think about outer ankle, outer knee, outer hip, rib cage, shoulder, ear. There we are in this beautiful tall alignment, Tadasana. Mountain pose, and if you have the block, squeeze the legs into your block. Next inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. You can have your other block for your hands perhaps. Come halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up, inhale. Chair is your exhale. Hold your chair, squeeze the block. Look down, see your feet. Look up and smile. Reach your arms or have your hands at your heart or on your thighs. 1 more breath here. Utkatasana, fierce mighty pose. And we root down, rise up. Tadasana. Okay, so that's one choice. A second choice, and this one is super fun and a little odd. Your feet can go on your blocks. Just like tree pose on Monday, the heels need to be on your blocks. The heels need to be connected so that you have a solid foundation. You're going to feel extra tall. I can see things that I've never seen. It's amazing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Different. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up, inhale, reaching up. Chair is your exhale. Connected through the heels, strong and steady on your blocks. Please be safe as we experiment today. We have 2 more breaths. Utkatasana. And then we root down and rise up. Hands to your heart and Tadasana. All right, only one more option, and then you'll decide which one you want to play with. So this one, you can hold the blocks. This is a little extra work in your shoulders because now you're adding load, as if you had a little weight, but instead you have a block. And we do the same thing, half sun salutation. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Hands are just a little heavier. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up, inhale. Exhale, chair. Now, what does this feel like? Does this feel like it's pulling you forward? Can you reach up on the diagonal and sit your butt back and connect to your heels? 2 more breaths, Utkatasana. And then you root down and rise up. Hands to heart, Tadasana. All right, we're just going to do 3 more half sun salutations with chair. Here's your choices. Maybe none at all. Maybe you don't want any block. Block between the legs, standing on your blocks, heels connected, or blocks in your hands. You decide. Set your intention, be present with your breath, solid with your block choice. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, inhale. Fold in, exhale. Rising up, inhale. Chair pose, exhale. Hold your chair. I have to turn my heat off. I'm very grateful to have it. Two more breaths. Feel your fierce mighty on this beautiful, wacky, windy Wednesday. And rise up, rise up. Put your blocks off to the side for a moment. Find Tadasana, ground through your feet. Feel yourself tall. Let your eyes close and breathe. I don't think we did 3. I think I ripped you off and you only did 1. Wacky Wednesday. That's all right. Let's come to the top of the mat. Maybe we'll get back to those half sun salutes. You can have 1 block handy. Making a crescent lunge, please use a wall or a chair for balance. Sorry about the sunshine shadows. A lot going on here today, but I think you can still see me. So left leg back for crescent lunge, left leg back. You have a block in your hands. You're going to take it around your body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Upper back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Balanced in your crescent lunge. Switch direction, squeezing each time. And it gets a little back bendy. Try to stay tall Tadasana posture, even in your crescent lunge. If you're without a block, you know that you're just doing the movement and you have an imaginary block. It's a beautiful place to be. Use your mind to create. And then block in front. You can pull the block apart as you bring your arms up. Pull the block apart. If you want this feeling without a block, clasp your hands and try to pull your hands apart. 2 more breaths, crescent lunge. And we release and we step up, strong and steady. Right leg goes back. Crescent lunge. This time, if you'd like, just for fun, you can circle the body again, or you can go up and get it, and back behind, and up and grab it, and behind. The possibilities for you, a million. Maybe you're like, well, I want to grab it over here. Okay, go on the diagonal. Do whatever you'd like, moving your block or your imaginary block. And then you'll somehow switch direction. Well, I don't know what direction I'm going, Terry. All right, make it up. Oh, I could almost reach behind and get it. Okay, arms in front. Block or not, this time press into the block. Don't try to pull it apart. Press in as you reach it up. Your shoulders will tell you where you're going today. Press into the block. If you're imagining, you're pressing in to an imaginary block. You can find so much work there. 2 more breaths. Pressing in and releasing, pressing in and releasing, coming down. Strong and steady, stepping up. Releasing the block, coming right into Tadasana. We ground. We notice the legs, the arms, the shoulders, the breath. Oh, goody, the lawn guys are here. Okay, so remember the forgotten half sun salutation. We're going to do one of those. So your choice, block in the thighs, standing on your blocks, or blocks in your hands. Maybe a different choice than you did before. Heels connected for sure if you're standing on your blocks. Ready? Here we go. Inhale, reaching up, greeting the sky. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Hold your chair pose, but don't hold your breath. to try to get rid of this shadow. You're breathing and you're connected through your heels. We have 2 more breaths. Inhabit your fierce, mighty yogi stamina. It's an odd word. And then we rise up, root down, rise up, release. If you're on your block, step off, connect to the ground. You will not need a block for this. It's been a while since we've done it. This is balance, and this is all of our core stuff, and this is enthusiasm pants on. Jogging in place, some of you will remember. So the right leg goes back, the left leg bends, right leg is back, left arm is forward. It's the opposites again. And then we move the leg and the arms. We are jogging in place. One leg is doing some serious work. If you need a wall or a chair, you can do it. I find it best with, yes, the front arm and the back leg opposite. And then I mess it up. And you're breathing and you are thanking that leg that's standing all the way from ground through hip. If it is a hot mess, don't worry. You are jogging in place. Where are you going? Maybe you're by the Eiffel Tower or in downtown LA. Okay. Release. Thank you, hip. Let's do the other side. Standing leg has a little bend. The other leg gets in this running position. We're ready to take off. And then we take off, but we stay still. How's your breath? Can you switch the arms? Does that feel different? Oh, yes, it does. Please use balance if you need a wall, a chair, always taking care of yourself as you run in place. Yes, yes. If you're a non-runner like me, this is very challenging. Some of you might just be wanting to do this all day long. That's not me. Okay, couple more strides. And we release. Tadasana, thank you to the hip, the buttocks, the standing leg. Or maybe close your eyes. And one more breath here. And then your third and final forgotten half sun salutation. You choose. Feet on your blocks, hands with your blocks, or a block between the thighs. Tall and grounded wherever you are. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rising up, inhale. Chair, exhale. Hold your chair. Can you find the slightest shift back so that the heels and the whole backs of your legs and buttocks feel like they're working. And release your arms, root down, rise up. Come to the ground if you're on your blocks. Hands at your heart, samastitihi. And I believe we did this Monday, but you can let the weight shift around. One foot and then the other, forward toward your toes and then back. And then find your center. Right here, this present moment. Maybe think of something that you are grateful for this moment. All right, release your arms. You'll have one block handy, and from the top of your mat, we'll create a warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. So we'll take the right leg back, drop the heel, bend your front knee above the ankle. You can go as wide as you want. The back toes are angled 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock-ish. You have mostly a Tadasana spine, head, rib cage, pelvis. Connect through the feet, all the way around, both feet. And then your block, same thing as in Crescent Lunge. We'll pull the block apart on this first one, taking your arms up, going where you can go. If you're without the block, you can clasp your hands and try to pull your hands apart. Notice your pelvis. It's neutral-ish, and I want you to create space at your lumbar spine, at your low back, and at your sacrum. If you feel compressed, then go wider with your feet. Maybe drop your tailbone the slightest, teeniest, tiniest bit. One more breath here. And then you might like to clasp your hands behind. If you're holding your block, you can take the hands behind, still pulling the block apart. It's a different feeling here. You can stay here or find a little humble warrior going inside the leg. Ooh, it's very different with your active pulling on the block. Don't collapse, just be long and strong inside the left leg. One more breath. And then we rise up, release the block, lift your back heel, step up. Second side, left leg goes back, and you drop the heel. So your left toes face 11, 10. Your front knee, right knee bends above the ankle. If you have your block, this time push into the block as you rise up, as you reach the arms up. Imaginary blocks count. Pushing in and taking up as much space as you need for a happy pelvis. I feel like when we actively use the block, trying to pull or trying to push, it's just a good metaphor for how can you breathe and feel a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit of discomfort, but your breath can help you be with it. It's like life. Got quite a bit that we're dealing with right now. Breath can help. then take your block behind you. Imagine pressing in to your imaginary block or pressing into your real block, and perhaps adding humble warrior. Slow and steady. I mean, this is so good. Beautiful. Yes. If you lean forward, humble warrior, get your spine as long as you can. One more breath. And your whole body strong, rooting down, rising up, bringing the block in front of your body. Lift your back heel, step up, release your block. Samastitihi, feet underneath your body, connected to the ground, connected to your heart, connected to your breath. All right, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take your block at the upper thighs now. You'll definitely need enthusiasm pants. It goes at the top of your thighs. You can squeeze in. We'll be at the top of the mat. You've got this. That's what I'm going to say. You've got this. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway up, inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and go to down dog. What? How can I? Well, it's a little different than usual. How can I move my legs and keep the block? And find downward facing dog. And then come forward into plank, squeezing the block. Exhale, dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. You move with your breath. Maybe you'll do 4 or 6 more. Slow and steady. When you finish, you will lovingly let go of the block. Be mindful. And you'll make your way into child's pose. What a beautiful reminder of how to use the legs in plank pose. When you come to child's pose, you might even place your forehead on your block. I really like that variation, but it's not for everyone. And bring the earth up to you. You can open your mouth, move your jaw around, stretch out your face. Okay. And then you're going to come on to your back. Have your blocks handy. There's a choice, of course. No block or block again between the thighs, the lower thigh by the knee, just above the knee. We're going to do some bridges. Now, this is one of my favorite variations of bridges By putting the feet on the blocks, you get some nice height, but not if your blocks are going to slip off the mat and you're sliding out. So you have to make sure they're connected. If you happen to have a wall handy, you could certainly push your bricks into the wall. Kelly, you might even use your couch if you wanted to. I think you have an edge of a couch there. So this is what it looks like. Remember, the heels of our hands were on the edge of the block. Now the heel of my foot gets really close right here to the edge so I can press into the block. You don't want the blocks to slip. So I'm about a hand width, the length of my hand from the block to my buttocks. Then I can press down and lift up into a bridge. If you feel any sliding at all, take the blocks away from your feet and put one in your thighs. You can experiment with a couple of bridges here, pressing down, lifting up, maybe letting your arms float up and over, creating some space across the frontal hip and thigh. Maybe you would like to hold a bridge with your arms up and over, or tuck your arms underneath. You can tuck your shoulders underneath, lift your hips high in the sky, strong in your buttocks, strong and rooted through the feet. A couple breaths here, holding your bridge. And then you'll come down. You can take the blocks away, let them rest. Oops, I'm on part of my mat here. You can get your pillow and bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh for thread the needle. Drawing your legs in, holding one leg or not. Giving the hips a little extra love after jogging in place. Big breath in, maybe open mouth, exhale. Slowly switching sides. Right leg on top, holding your left leg or your shin, or maybe don't hold the legs. Big deep breath in, maybe open mouth, exhale. And releasing. Bring your feet to the ground. Just pause here. Ardha Shavasana, knees are bent. And check in with your body. There's a couple of options here that might feel good, and you'll know right away. You may want to hug your knees in and take a gentle twist. And you may want to stay here and then stretch out into Shavasana. Some of you, if you have a wall handy, might take legs up the wall for your Shavasana. Of course, if there's something else that your body needs, honor that. Taking another couple of moments before we rest. Making sure when you arrive in legs up the wall or Shavasana that you set yourself up cozy and comfortable. You have your pillows for under your thighs if you'd like. And your arms can rest comfortably, palms up or down. And before floating into Shavasana, just again, let something come to your mind that you are grateful for in this moment. And then let yourself rest. Please rest longer if you would like, or invite a deeper breath. You might turn your head side to side a couple of times. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And reach up overhead. Stretch through your whole magnificent body. And bend your knees. Roll onto one side. Fetal pose. Grateful for new beginnings. Grateful for the rest of our day. Bring yourself up to sit. Bring your hands to touch in front of your heart and bow your head in. Thank you for being here, for sharing your practice. And let's take our yoga off the mat and out into the world. Namaste.